Call of Duty Black Ops 6 has been quite the game recently. It has garnered a lot of attention, as a lot of people consider it at least step towards a return to form, or maybe even a full return to form for Call of Duty. But is that actually true? Let's find out. I'm super excited to share all of this information and how much I've been enjoying Black Ops 6 and the problems I have with it as well with you guys, to sort of start a cool discussion about the game and let people in the comments tell me what they think. I love being able to start discussions on this channel since I'm small enough that people can actually, respond to each other and respond with me. So yeah, looking forward to diving right on into this. So let's see, does Black Ops 6 live up to the hype? I do want to preface that I'm not going to be talking about Activision's monetization practices in this video, nor will I be talking about things like the battle pass currency and getting less of it now for the same amount of price as you did before, and all these other things with the purchases of bundles and how much they cost versus buying a $70 game. Not talking about any of that. I'm going to talk about the multiplayer zombies in the campaign as it shipped, what I was able to experience and go through. That's all I'm going to be talking about in this video. But if you guys would want to see me talk about some of that other stuff in a different video, leave a comment below about it. I would love to jump into any topic people would love to hear me talk about. Alright, I'm going to go in order of things that I have to talk about the most, and so I'm going to open with the campaign zombies and then finish with multiplayer. I have more to say about multiplayer than the other two, because most of my gripes resolve and reside with multiplayer, but I think zombies has a few things too, but the campaign is probably the easiest to talk about, so I'm going to dive right into that. The hype about the campaign is very legitimate. This is probably top 5, if not top 3 COD campaigns. It's very, very good. The levels, particularly Emergence, and I think it's called Separation Anxiety, both of those levels are really, really good. And they're both in a similar vein this time too. I wish Treyarch would stretch their arms a little more and their reach of their technical skill and clear prowess for doing incredibly unique COD levels compared to other things like Modern Warfare, for example, because the sequences in those levels are awesome and super immersive and feels so fresh compared to what old COD campaigns are doing. It almost makes me sad because COD is forever Treyarch's sort of Sisyphus rock that they're pushing up the hill. They're always cursed to make a COD, make a Black Ops all the time, where they clearly have the skills to maybe make an interesting horror title or, a zombie-related game that's just that, or, other story-related games, because they clearly have the preface for it. They loved those 2 missions, and those missions shine really, really well. And the overall story is fantastic, too. I wish they'd have focused on these singular, trippy, sort of immersive story missions more than they would have the open-world ones. There's 2 missions in particular. One where you're in a base kind of doing different checkpoints, and that one was a lot better than this one. The other one was one where you drive a car around a wide open area and sort of hit different checkpoints. I wasn't really crazy about any of the open world levels. I really think Treyarch shines when they're not doing that, when they're focusing on human characters in this sort of zany Mission Impossible world and these big cinematic levels that go along with that, like Emergence, like Separation Anxiety, and like the finale Checkmate. Those levels are just stunning, and High Roller as well, also worth mentioning, is a great level. And that's all I'm going to really say about the story, because I think it's really good. I think people should experience it blind. A lot of the plot twists and surprise moments are huge and super exciting. So I definitely think that that's something you need to experience blind. So I won't be talking about any of that other than telling you the campaign is fantastic. If you play COD for the campaigns and you like the story, this is a must-buy. Absolutely fantastic. As for zombies, I'm really happy the round-based system is back, and I'm really happy we've got gobblegums and stuff again. As I'd said in the beginning, I'm not getting into, how they're microtransactioning some of the gobblegums in the future. And we also don't know exactly how that's going to go down, other than it got leaked it will happen. But just talking about the standard of the game. Terminus and Liberty Falls are fantastic maps. I enjoyed the Easter egg on both. I've attempted the Easter egg on both and completed Liberty Falls solo. Almost completed Terminus solo, but decided to just not keep grinding that solo. That was too much. And I really loved both of them. I think they're both great maps. Liberty Falls is a fantastic solo map. I haven't had the chance to play zombies with friends yet, and it makes me wonder how that will change my opinion on it, because Liberty Falls feels so small compared to a zombies map, which makes it great for playing solo. I'm not sure how it would feel if you have multiple people and it feels more cramped. I'm completely unsure, but we'll see. As for Terminus, it feels like your standard, almost Black Ops 3 levels of quality zombies map. Great Easter egg, great wonder weapon, interesting maps, fun traps, great perks around the map, fun training and laning areas where you can kind of zip around and, loop zombies back around for trains or, for setting up different stuff for the Easter egg. The map's really great, and I love being able to, now mantle, jump, and use Omni movement throughout the whole map to avoid zombie hordes. That's honestly where I think Omni movement shines the most, is actually in zombies and the ways you can train and avoid getting hit. And by giving the player more movement, they can make, the zombies faster and the, super enemies more complex. And I really love that about it. Probably my biggest complaint about zombies is sometimes I think the beauty of why it's fun is the simplicity of it, the simplicity of just chugging through the rounds, maybe trying to do the Easter egg, and sort of just entering this flow state of destroying waves of enemies. When you start adding all these different features and perks and, little ways to modify your weapons and stuff, while I do think that's great, and this is, again, a minor nitpick, I do worry it can fall under its own weight a little bit, where it's like there's so much you should be upgrading and looking at, where it's like, nah, simplicity has always been best with zombies. And I'm sure some people disagree with me on that, but I also don't mind the whole build system you can do too, where you can go in with a certain weapon and set of gobblegums and all of that. They've done that in the past, and I don't mind that. But I worry along with that, now that they're adding so many more upgrades and your armor packs and all these things, that eventually it's going to crumble under its own weight. But for now, very, very good, very solid. I love both the maps, and the one that's upcoming looks like Der Eisendrock, which is super exciting. So big thumbs up from me, loving that. All right, let's talk multiplayer, shall we? Where should I begin? I really like the multiplayer. I do. It feels almost in like a fighting game sense. I'll use kind of an analogy when you look at a fighting game like Marvel vs. Capcom 2, where that game kind of just said, the casual audience be damned, learn your combos, learn the challenging things. If you get stomped, just get better. You'll be satisfied by the progression. I feel like Omni movement has now caused that to happen. There's so many sweats, and by giving them more movement options, they've pushed the gap further, which makes it, I think, harder on a casual audience, especially now that you have skill-based matchmaking just crushing people, and it is quite intense, although it has been proven statistically that skill-based gives the average person a better match experience. It can be tough when you want to grind and improve at your gameplay or go for these big streaks like going nuclear or trying to get your kill streaks. It can be really hard now because the skill-based, kind of crushes you. You need to find, a really good lobby and then capitalize on it, and that's really tough. But that being said, I do think now with Omni movement and all those things, increasing the skill gap, it makes it even more weighted, I guess, against the average person. But I also think that it gives the average person the chance to enjoy themselves and improve and experience a level of competition within the game that wasn't there. Different levels of complexity can make the experience more fun, but it can also become challenging when the maps are so bad. That's really where my biggest complaint lies. Some of these maps are bad. They are far too wide open and far too linear to allow for you to capitalize off of these amazing movement options. You're either super in the open where Omni movement doesn't help you because no matter what crazy slide dive technique you do, you're still in the open and get shot, or it's such a tight space that it doesn't give you the opportunity to even move around with that. I think maps like the, I'm forgetting the name of it, but there's the one house map that's like, kind of has the pool and everything. That map is really good. Steakhouses, or Safe House, is really good. I think that's what it's called. The apartment one that's just a big circle. That map is fantastic. And then Nuketown's fun. It's always been fun. That's why they add it to every Black Ops game. Nuketown's fun. But, I don't know. Some of the other ones just feel so flat. I like the hangar one. I should take that back. The one that has like the jet and the hangar is fun. That's a good one as well. But some of the others just don't impress me. They have these giant lanes that allow you to be sniped really easily, and since they're a lane, they're too limiting to allow you to have these interesting movement options. Giving me a quick little dive into a cabin doesn't exactly help me avoid anything. It just means I need to be super precise with my movement to avoid an unfair open area where I can just be laned down and gunned down no matter what I do. And that just sucks. The same goes for that one like art gallery map that's super open in the middle. Even though it has those art mazes you can kind of run through in the middle, it doesn't matter. It's so open that you step out of the maze, you get ripped apart. It doesn't matter what kind of movement options you have. If you don't hit a headshot when you sprint, dive, or do whatever with the Omni movement, you're just cooked. It's over. And I think that's super unfortunate because with the weird spawns that this game has that are super aggressive and, allow people to kind of sneak up behind you if you're not paying attention, having such an open map on top of that, it just makes it feel crushing. You've given us a great movement system, and you've given us really good gun balance, Treyarch. It's fantastic. I love the way the weapons feel. I think it's really fun, especially with the sniper changes that happened yesterday. Fantastic. But you gotta let us capitalize on it. The maps are limiting what people can do, and I think that's super unfortunate. I really think they should bring back some of those old classic Black Ops maps, like a lot of people want us to, because they had such good map design, and it'll allow for people to experiment on old maps they love with that movement tech that you've given us, and then the things that people love from those old maps, take those and apply it to new maps. And you'll have a great catalog that's so good, people won't even care about the few bad ones. But right now, with a limited catalog of maps, they stand out really bad, like a sore thumb. It needs to be fixed. It really, really does. But that's my only real complaint with the multiplayer, and it's probably my biggest complaint with the game in general. I love that the prestige system's back. I love the new zombies, and the story mode's fantastic. It is the best COD in years. Overall, for the average person, it's probably like a 7.5 to an 8 out of 10. For me, it's like an 8.5 to a 9 because I love COD, and I really like being back in the groove, and I really think it's one of the best ones they've made in a long time. And it could even be a top 5 contender, genuinely, of all time. It's a good game, but it's crushing itself under its own weight. It really is. It's trying to do too much, and it's not allowing people to let that skill gap breathe. Something like that can really be fun if you let people learn to use it in unique ways. That's all I got to say. Game's good. I do really like it. I'm surprised how good it is. I didn't have a lot of faith, to be honest. And, you know, seeing them take these steps in the right direction at the very least is fantastic for everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. It really helps a lot. Please like, comment, share, interact with the channel. YouTube really pushes interaction these days as a super important metric for the channel to grow. I've really had a lot of fun communicating with all of you in the comments, so please leave a comment. I attempt to answer every single one that I can, and that's the best I got to say. Thank you all again so much for watching this review. Check me out in the next video if you're interested in that, and I will see you next time. Peace, everybody.